All right, Nathan, do you want to let that one guest in and so we can open the meeting? All right, Mr. English, I think we can begin the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the Vineland Board of Education, June 3rd, 2020 agenda for a combined meeting. Roll call, please, Mr. Merkley.
Ms. Acosta,
Here.
Mrs. Codispoti,
Present.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Here.
Mr. Holmes,
Present.
Mr. Sobrana,
Present.
Mr. Silva.
Here.
Ms. Spinelli, I believe, is coming in right now, so I'm going to mark her here. Hopefully we'll hear from her. Mr. Ulrich,
Present.
Mr. English.
Here. In compliance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law, commonly referred to as the Sunshine Law, the Vineland Board of Education has caused notice and posting of this meeting to be sent to the following, announcing time and place thereof, agenda, etc. The Daily Journal, SNJ Today, the Press of Atlantic City, Nuestra Comunidad, Visto Bueno, the Clerk for the City of Vineland, and the Administrative Office Public Bulletin Board. At this time, I ask that we rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the
the republic for which it
for which
stands,
it stands,
one nation,
under
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And we have Megan in now. She's in, correct?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I can hear you. Perfect. All right, I have a brief statement that I would like to read before we start our meeting. First, I would like to acknowledge the courteous and mature behavior of protesters who peacefully gathered on our Landis Administrative Building property on Monday. The Board of Education shares the concerns of residents who simply seek justice and equal treatment for every person, regardless of race, creed, or color. We deeply appreciate the calm and sincere approach of the Vineland demonstrators, both on Monday and today as well. Regarding graduation, the district is working diligently to arrange a safe and meaningful in-person graduation ceremony, which provides well-deserved recognition for the achievements of our seniors. We realize how important this is to our families and our community. We are doing everything possible to host this proud tradition while addressing the unprecedented challenges of COVID-19. We are working closely with Vineland officials and city departments to adhere to the best practices for social distancing and safety procedures. We thank Principal DeMarchi and her high school leadership team and staff, along with central administration, for their comprehensive planning and dedication to duty. We remind everyone that a virtual graduation ceremony developed prior to state permission for an in-person event will air on Channel 9, YouTube, and Verizon 41 at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 16th. Once we receive state approval, the in-person graduation is expected to consist of 2 Gattone ceremonies which adhere to social distancing recommendations. For that reason, we shall accommodate limited family attendance. The graduates shall be assigned equally by alphabet. We appreciate the passion and viewpoints of parents and others who care deeply about Vineland Public Schools. And like always, we endeavor to do what is best for the students. Thank you. At this time, do we have a resolution for executive session?
We do.
We do?
Yes, let me read that. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the City of Vineland School District will convene into executive session on Tuesday, June 9th, for the following reasons as outlined in NJSA 10:4-12. And that reason is discussion about the superintendent's evaluation. That's 4:30, Tuesday, June 9th.
Just a quick question on that, Mr. Merkley. We have 3 conflicted board members, so that meeting, the 3 of us will not be attending that meeting. Who will be running the meeting?
Mr. English,
Yes,
it could either be the chair of that committee of the 6 non-conflicted, or they may elect a chair to preside over that executive session.
okay. And they will, can I be in contact with them just so I know what's going on, or just let it be?
I think between Megan and Kim, I think they understand what's going on.
Perfect. Perfective. Alrighty then. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta,
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana,
Yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
I'll abstain even though I don't have to. It's just an executive session.
Mr. English.
Yes. Abstain. Yes. Yes is fine.
Got it.
Alrighty. Sadly, we have no special presentations, do we, Dr. Guccio?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Nothing. Alrighty, at this time, do I have a motion for the approval of minutes, April 27th, 2020, public hearing, May 6th, 2020, combined meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta,
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana,
Yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
Yes,
Mr. English.
Yes. At this time, do I have any committee reports? Okay, seeing none. Do we have any public reports from our board solicitor?
None.
None. Okay, at this time, do we have anyone from the public that would like to address the board on agenda items only?
If you would like to address the board, please press *9 on your phone. *9 will alert us that you would like to make a statement.
Nobody?
Doesn't look that way.
Alrighty then. At this time, Dr. Guccio, motions and resolutions by our superintendent.
Okay, if I could, before we start, I'd just like to mention that since our last board meeting, we have lost 3 of our employees in the district. They have passed away since our last meeting. We also, as you know, are dealing with COVID and have been going through some very unsettled times with protests. And as you said, Mr. English, our students, many of them were involved the other day, and they were ladies and gentlemen and handled themselves very, very well. So we got a call from the mayor and the police saying that they were very proud of them. So I think that says something in itself. But if we could, before we begin the meeting, I'd just like to ask if we could have a moment of silence to remember those that we lost and to keep their families in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guccio.
Okay, I'd like to begin with personnel items. I recommend discussion regarding retirements, resignations, terminations, leaves of absence, employment, transfers, extracurricular activities, and extracurricular summer work.
Do I have any questions or comments?
Mr. President, just want to make a comment about the retirements. We have 4 people there with a combined years of service of 100 years. That's a century of working for the students and our families in the district, and we wish them a happy and healthy and long retirement.
Thank you, Mr. Sobrano. Any other questions or comments?
Okay, I'd like to recommend approval of personnel items 1.1.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Costa,
Yes.
Mrs. Codisbody,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sobrano,
yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
yes,
Mr. English.
Yes,
The motion passes.
thank you.
I'd like to recommend discussion regarding the district travel.
Do I have any questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the use of Vineland High School South Complex by the city of Vineland for fireworks on Saturday, July 4th, with a rain date of Sunday, July 5th, subject to compliance by the city of Vineland with applicable COVID-19 governmental requirements.
Any questions or comments?
I'd like to recommend approval of items 2.1 through 2.2.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta,
Yes.
Mrs. Codisbody,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sobrano,
yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
yes,
Mr. English.
Yes,
The motion passes.
thank you.
I would like to recommend discussion regarding a contract with Golden Gate for the sale and purchase of 120 West Wood Street at a sale price of $350,000.
Any questions or comments?
I would like to recommend approval of item 3.1.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta,
Yes.
Mrs. Codisbody,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sobrano,
yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
yes,
Mr. English.
Yes,
That passes.
thank you.
I would like to recommend discussion of the budgetary transfers for our general school-based and ECPA budgets for the month of April 2020.
Any questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of the board secretary and treasurer reports for April 2020.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the placement of special education students.
Questions or comments?
I'd like to recommend discussion regarding the submission of the following grant applications. New Jersey Child Assault Prevention Program grant, pre-K to sixth grade, the New Jersey Teen Child Assault Prevention Program, CAP, grades 7 through 12, and the New Jersey Special Needs Child Assault Prevention Program for 2020-21.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the 2021 itinerant shared services agreement between Salem County Special Services School District and Vineland Public School District Board of Education for July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding a shared service agreement with the Cumberland County Board of Vocational Ed for the processing of payroll services for the annual amount of $41,000 from July 1, 2020 to June 30th, 2021, pending attorney review of acceptable contractual language.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the service agreement between the City of Vineland Board of Ed and Comcast Cable Communications Management LLC to provide communications and other services at $7,590 per month through the E-rate program for a 2-year term, July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2022.
Questions or comments?
I have a question. Item 4.7, the service agreement is between the Vineland Board of Education and ERC. It says Comcast on the agenda. If you
I have
click,
Comcast also.
Okay. I apologize. It must be an error in typing. So it's ERC.
No, it's Comcast Cable Communications Management LLC.
if you
Yeah,
click service agreement, it's between Vineland and ERC.
Okay, Alex. So what we're saying is that the wrong company is on there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I will change it to ERC. I'll have it corrected tomorrow. Okay. I'd like to recommend discussion regarding shared service agreement with the city of Vineland to assist in providing free influenza vaccines to eligible preschool students who are enrolled in the Vineland Public Schools preschool program to help meet the state requirements at a cost of $10,000 funded by ECPA grant.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding a professional service contract between the City of Vineland Board of Ed and Healthcare Consultants Incorporated, a New Jersey corporation doing business as Newborn Nurses for nursing services at a rate of $42 per hour for an LPN, $52 per hour for an RN for the 2021 school year.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the agreement between the City of Vineland Board of Ed and Catapult Learning to provide nursing services to students in non-public schools with the Vineland city boundaries for the 2020-21 school year in a form that is acceptable to the board solicitor and superintendent and is contingent upon availability of Chapter 192, 193 funding.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the agreement between the City of Vineland Board of Ed and Catapult Learning to provide educational and related services, Chapter 192, 193 funding to eligible students attending a non-public schools within the Vineland city boundaries for the 2021 school year in a form that is acceptable to the board solicitor and superintendent and is contingent upon the availability of Chapter 192, 193 funding.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the agreement between the City of Vineland Board of Education and Catapult Learning to provide evaluation and determination of eligibility services to students in non-public schools within the Vineland city boundaries for the 2021 school year in a form which is acceptable by the board solicitor and superintendent.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding a professional services agreement between Preferred Home Healthcare and Nursing Services and the City of Vineland Board of Ed to provide nursing services for special education students in the amount of $53 per hour for an LPN and $58 per hour for an RN from July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of the resolution of the City of Vineland Board of Ed appointing a lesser relating to the lease purchase financing in connection with the acquisition of vehicles and school buses in an amount not to exceed $3,662,684.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the renewal of the lease with Ascend Incorporated for 1350 Southwest Boulevard, Unit 2, for a 6-month period under the terms of the current lease agreement with a 0% increase in rent, equivalent to $2,625.49 per month for July 1, 2020 through December 31st, 2020.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion to permit the school business administrator to bind the insurance coverage by June 30th, 2020, pending the receipt of an acceptable renewal of auto and property casualty insurance with the NJSIG through Beyond the Insurance, which would be effective July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021, with Board of Education premium approval occurring retroactively.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of a resolution that will allow private schools to provide free nutritional breakfast and/or lunch for students with disabilities.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of a resolution appointing the legal depositories for school district funds.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of a resolution appointing the following bank depositories for business checking, savings and investments, athletic department petty cash fund, athletic fund, budgetary, payroll agency, food service, payroll, unemployment trust fund, flex spending, and capital reserve.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of a resolution appointing our official newspapers.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion of a resolution recognizing the collective bargaining units.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend a resolution to, I would like to recommend discussion to award the VHS North Toilet Room renovations and Winslow Replacement Project, NJDOE project number 5390-050-20-1000 to Levi Construction of Audubon, New Jersey, in the amount of $275,600, utilizing the 2019-2020 reallocated budgetary funds.
Questions or comments?
I believe that Dr. Gruccio meant window and not Winslow there, because it's all that work is at the high school.
Window, yes.
Oh,
Correct.
I apologize.
No
Okay.
problem.
No
All right.
worries. Perfect.
All right, I would like to recommend discussion regarding the 2020-21 agreement between the City of Vineland Board of Education Transportation and the Cumberland County Board of Vocational Education for special education and private school transportation and routing management services for a cost of $100,404.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend discussion regarding the following Cumberland County Regional Cooperative Transportation Initiatives: 2019-20 Transportation Quoted Contracts, 2019-20 Transportation Addenda, 2020-21 Regular School Year Renewal, 2020-21 Shared Services and Transportation Jointure Approvals, 2020-21 Approval to Bid, 2020-21.
Questions or comments?
I would like to recommend approval of items 4.1 through 4.24.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Mrs. Codesati,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes, but I will be abstaining from 4.15 and 4.18.
Noted. Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sobrano,
yes on everything except I abstain on 4.7.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli,
Yes.
Mr. Ulrich,
yes,
Mr. English.
Yes.
That's the end of my recommendations.
Thank you, Dr. Gruccio. Okay, we do not have any proposed items for review. At this time, do I have a motion for the approval of bills that incurred during the month of April 2020?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Mrs. Codesati,
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi,
Yes.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Sobrano,
yes.
Mr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli, Ms. Spinelli. She has herself muted.
Muted.
Yeah, she muted herself.
Yeah, Mr. Ulrich,
yes,
Mr. English.
Yes,
Yes. Yes for Meg Spinelli, sorry.
that's okay.
You got you.
No worries. All righty. I was not contacted with any emergent items, so at this time, the opportunity for the public to address the board. on any item. Do we have anybody in the holding tank?
You have someone, they could press *9 on their phone, and that will alert us that they would like to make a comment. *9 on your phone. Not seeing anything.
Not seeing anything. Going once, going twice. Alrighty, do we have any old or new business by any board members? Let me see if I got anybody raising any hands here. Alrighty. At this time, we will have our board member remarks. I will start with Mr. Fiocchi.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Holmes.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Acosta.
Well, the only thing I want to say is that I know in speaking to a lot of parents and teachers and just fellow colleagues at work, everyone is going through a very difficult time, and this time can be especially stressful for kids. So to those kids, I just want to offer words of encouragement. Just remember that you are loved. You are basically in everyone's hearts. We know how difficult this is. We know how much you would like to have the opportunity to say goodbye to some of your friends and, you know, particularly the seniors. I know how difficult all of this is, and there have been tears from so many, but I would just hope that everyone keeps the hope and continue to move forward and know that ultimately everything will be okay. So thank you, and I miss my colleagues on the Board of Education. So that's all.
Thank you, Ms. Acosta. Ms. Spinelli.
Yes, I just want to thank everyone for accommodating me tonight during a busy season at my professional job. And I wish everyone well, and I look forward to seeing everyone really soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Spinelli. Ms. Cataspati.
Yeah, I would just like to thank Ms. DeMarchi and her staff and Dr. Gruccio and administration for doing everything possible that they could do for our graduating seniors. I've heard nothing but great things about the banners with the kids, with the students' pictures on them, to the different ideas that have been floating around. To our seniors, my heart aches because you're not getting that final senior year, but you guys have risen to the occasion. You've made us all proud. I wish you all the luck in whatever you plan to do in the future. And thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cataspati. Mr. Sabrana.
Thank you. I'd like to express sincere thanks to all of our employees who've been working so hard under conditions that were only your worst nightmares a couple of months ago. There's been so much sacrifice by so many members of our staff and our administration to provide meaningful instruction to our students and keep our business operations running smoothly. Also, a lot of effort has been put forth by our maintenance and other departments during this very, very difficult time. We're also grateful for the patience of our parents and their cooperation from our families, and especially our high school students. I don't think I really understood how much I looked forward to that end of the year. I call it banquet circuit, where we have all those events that really allow us an opportunity to thank and celebrate the accomplishments of our students. And this has been very, very hard for all of them too. I know that how frustrated I've been, I'm sure my colleagues have as well, trying to balance safety with a sincere desire for recognition and celebration of accomplishments of our kids in academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities. my wish for everyone is that we never confronted with a situation as dangerous and frustrating as this one again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sobrano. Mr. Silva.
Yes, I just would like to congratulate all of our seniors, our graduating seniors, and I just would like to wish them all well in all their future endeavors. And also would like to thank Harry Silverstein on his recommendation on a job well done, to Steve Riss from Premier Power Wash for a wonderful job on the VHS tennis courts. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. Brings me to Mr. Ulrich.
Yes, just like to say congratulations to our seniors, and just thank you to our staff and our parents as we navigate through these uncertain waters. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Ulrich. Dr. Gruccio.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd just like to wish all of our retirees well. Thank them for serving Vineland Public Schools, and I hope they have a long, healthy, and happy retirement. I'd like to also congratulate the class of 2020. I know this is not exactly how they expected to end their senior year, but we are working very hard to try to make it memorable for them. And they are a very strong and resilient group of young people, and I'm very proud of them. So I want to wish them the very best as they move on to the next chapter in their life. I also have a few things that we have been recognized for that I'd just like to acknowledge tonight. We received a Literacy Foundation grant for $1,500 from the Dollar General Literacy Foundation. And they're helping, it's to help create a love of reading, a lifelong love of reading. And this grant will be used to provide instruction to our students throughout the summer so that we can support them in completing their summer reading task and provide them with instruction to bolster their skills and prepare them so when they go to the next grade level, they'll be ready to move forward. So I'm happy to say we received that. The next thing is we also have been recognized, our district was chosen as the 2020-22 recipient of the New Jersey Second Language Learning Regional Model Program Initiative. They will be having a virtual ceremony on June 15th at 10 a.m. to celebrate this recognition. And we will be looked at as a model district, and people will be coming to view the things we do with our ELL population. And so we're very proud of the accomplishments of all the people in that department. And last, everybody's familiar with Cole and Chris Hanna, and we want to congratulate them because they received the National Promising Practices Award from character.org, and they will be heading to Washington, D.C. early next year, and they will be honored there. So I just want to congratulate them on their continued success and the many things they're doing for our students. So they're the three positives I had to add to the meeting tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gruccio, and a special thank you to you and your staff. I know during these times you guys have really in, out, at home, everywhere you can possibly be. I know it's not normal and it's unfortunately might be the new norm, but you guys have continued to keep me abreast of what's going on, and I've tried to pass it on to my fellow board members. Sometimes, unfortunately, the media, social media beats me to the punch sometimes, but I definitely wanted to let you know that your hard work and your team's work is not going unnoticed by this board.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank all of you for the support you've given us through this process of figuring out what we can do for our seniors. It's not been an easy process. We are going to apply for an in-person graduation. We may get permission, we may not, but I appreciate the board supporting us and supporting all of us at Central Administration as we go through our efforts to try to do what we can for the kids. So thank you for your support.
It's a true team effort, you know that. I started putting the pencil to paper this afternoon, and I think I'm going to take my full 5 minutes this evening. I wanted to just take a second to thank Ms. Spinelli. My family went through a tough time the past few weeks with this virus, and we're definitely seeing light at the end of the tunnel now. But Ms. Spinelli helped us through the process with the testing and things. So I know she's busy enough during her daily routine, and then she had to hear from me 9:30 at night. She really guided me the proper way to get our testing done and everything very efficiently. So I want to take a moment to thank her publicly for that. I want to take a moment to congratulate the class of 2020. I know this is not the way that you wanted to spend the last 4 months of your senior year at VHS, but each of you have made it, and I want to wish all of you the best of luck in the future. I would also like to congratulate our 8th graders and 5th graders for successfully completing middle school and elementary school, and best of luck to them as they head to VHS and to one of the various 3 middle schools we have in our district. I have a special thanks to all of our employees A to Z for simply, how else do you say it? You just got the job done, and it's definitely appreciated. The last 4 months have been crazy with all the obstacles that were put in front of you and all of us. And you continue to work hard and diligently to put the best product forward. And that's what our students needed, and it's definitely appreciated. To Mrs. DeMarchi and your team at the high school, you have been putting countless hours in planning and replanning graduation ceremonies for the class of 2020. Although you have received some criticism, I challenge any of those critics to walk in your shoes for one day. We on the Vineland Board of Education are well aware of what you've been doing pretty much morning, noon, and night. And it is a job that is well done. As I drove around Vineland today, the VHS fence along Brewster Road and Chestnut Avenue really says it all. It is truly a great job done by all, that we can show little ways that we can still send our seniors off in a positive way during these trying times. I did get a chance to cruise a couple times by who was out of the vehicle taking pictures, who was looking for themselves. It was really humbling to see that. So great job by Ms. DeMarchi and her team of administrators and class advisors and all who have been digging in. Just a brief thing to touch on. I've been getting many calls and texts concerning what the school year is going to look like the start of September. And I can honestly tell you that central administration is doing everything in their power, but we have a governor who makes the decisions with protocols and procedures. And we unfortunately haven't been given many hints or ideas of what it is going to look like. I know that Mary and the team, Dr. Gruccio and her team have put some ideas together. One of our biggest concerns, of course, always is possibly being financially cut in areas where we didn't anticipate during our budget process. Mr. Merkley has us through committee well aware of what's ahead of us, and there's going to be some planning going on. I asked that just central administration do their best to keep the board, as always, advised, but also be as transparent with the community as possible with that process. Moving right along here. I wanted to send a special message of thanks to a VHS graduating senior who I do not know other than by her email that she sent to my fellow board members, Dr. Gruccio and myself, last Friday evening concerning graduation this year. We all have received various emails, text messages, and calls telling us to do this and to do that. But this email from this young lady was written like no other I have received. Her opinions and personal experience really hit home as I was reading it once, twice, and even a third time again that evening. Here's a 17 or 18-year-old young adult who totally gets it and is definitely wise beyond her years. Her name is Emily Jones. She will be attending the University of Connecticut this fall, and I thank you for giving us your reality view as a graduating senior during the most trying of times in our nation's history. Your email was exactly what I needed and one I will remember for a long time. Thank you and best of luck at UConn. Go Huskies. Really, again, it seems like every email we get, we're getting beat up left and right. And if you can only, we put ourselves in these spots, as I've said before, but if the people can only understand, we really, with situations like this, we were at the mercy of our governor, and he's doing the best that he can do, but it's really been a roller coaster ride for all of us. We we hear we can have a graduation one day, and the next day we're told how many people can attend. And we kind of joked when it said 25. We said, oh, maybe he missed a 2, or maybe he missed a 0 or a 5 there. But it was pretty much 25, a simple number like that. So we chuckled and said, okay, that's, Jean, I think you were working the numbers. She's like, okay, that's 89 graduations, and give or take a few here and there. But it's, you know, we kept our spirits up through the whole process. And again, someone like Ms. DeMarchi, a lot of people think, you know, it's an easy job being a principal because you have the assistants under you. But from what I was told, she was out there on Gatone Stadium's football field with her tape measure, in contact with Mr. Farinaccio, really doing things that to me were way beyond that job description, so our students can be sent out on top. So again, I can't say enough that she's doing an outstanding job. And when I see the negativity piece, that it's so hard to stop on social media, times like this, we should be reaching for the positives. It's that negativity that sometimes people latch on to. And anyone that, again, wants to walk in her shoes, as I said earlier, I would gladly give them a set of sneakers to try it, because that's something that is no easy task. And pretty much in closing, I just wish everyone across the city and across the state and in the United States of America, you know, just to please stay safe and healthy, and try and do your best to have a well-enjoyed summer season. With that being said, I thank each of my board members, central administration again as well. I would ask that we have a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you and good night. Stay
Take
well.
care, everybody.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Bye.